Point is, you don't want to get stuck in being right. And oftentimes, when we're stuck with change, it's because we got the right answer, and we're missing the answer that's going to solve the problem. Winners find the opportunity when things change. Everything I give you, I want you to say, okay, what if I took this key and put it into the lock of my problem? And I'm going to try to turn that key. What would that do if I applied this in my life?
Dr. Gary Bradt. Change. Love it or leave it.
Now, I want to make my time with you today very practical. I'm going to give you tools that you can use. I want you to imagine you're this little guy in my figure I have up there. I want you to think about a maze you're in life right now where you are feeling a little bit lost. I want you to think about a situation in your life where there's some change going on. It may be within your work as an independent dealer. It may be at home. Or it may be some mix of the same. I had succession up on that last one. You guys as family businesses, as Leon Danko said, succession is not an issue in family businesses. It is the issue. And you may be at that stage of, do I sell? Do I keep it for the kids? Where do we go? So I want you to think about a change that you're struggling with right now. You're like this little guy in the picture. You're not sure which way to turn in the maze. You're not sure how to get to that new cheese, that which is going to make you happy, successful.
Change is no longer an option. In today's business world, change is the norm. To win when things change, organizations need to stick to the basics, the fundamental principles that lead to success. Dr. Gary Bradt is the preeminent expert on change and leadership. He's a dynamic speaker who inspires audiences to win against all odds. In his energetic and entertaining presentations, he teaches audiences to apply his winning tools to achieve incredible results when things change. Dr. Gary Bradt. Change. Love it or leave it.
There's a fellow by the name of Richard. Richard was not unlike you folks. Richard was in a family business. He branched out on his own. He left the family business. He started his own business. His business was selling high-end electronics, TVs, stereo systems, stuff like that. Richard was very successful. He built a chain of about 8 or 9 stores in the upper Midwest. He was doing great. The stores were successful. They were profitable. He was still a relatively young man. He was on his way. He had found his cheese in that parlance. But things are always going to change. When you're at the top, that wave is going to break. You're going to go down to the bottom. And in Richard's life, a change, boom, like that. Within a period of about 5 minutes. I want you to imagine you're Richard. Some of you probably face stuff like this. A tornado came through his town. And this tornado damaged many of the stores. It damaged his largest and most profitable store, damaged much of his inventory. Now Richard is in trouble. Change has come upon him, and he is immediately in trouble. Now, if you're Richard, what do? Now, I know my instinct, if I didn't practice what I preach, would be to whine about my bad luck. Can you believe it? I just built up my business. This tornado came through. What did I do to deserve this? And then I'd get worried about, what's the insurance company going to say? And I'd start trying to fight that battle. That's what losers do. And I'm afraid if I didn't practice what I preached, I'd be a loser. Richard showed what winners do. Richard looked at the situation. He said, all right, there's an opportunity here we've had that we never had before. This has created an opportunity. People looked at him like he was nuts. What kind of opportunity are you talking about, Richard? He says, we have an opportunity to have a tornado sale. They said, what's that? Richard said, well, tornado sale is we got all this damaged inventory. What we're going to do is we're going to put it out in the parking lot. We're going to take our advertising budget for the rest of the year and advertise this big tornado sale. We're going to say valuable stuff at a discounted price. Richard looked out at the parking lot and he sees this long line of cars fighting to get into his parking lot to buy his discounted stuff. Matter of fact, the reaction to this sale was better than any reaction to any sale they had ever run before. Now, Richard was no dummy. He said, something's just happened here. What is it? What's the difference between this and all our other traditional sales? He quickly figured it out. Well, what we did is we took our high-end stuff and we discounted it. We took our valuable stuff and we discounted it. Richard said, you know what, I think I got an idea for a whole new business model out of this. We're going to change our business model from selling high-end electronics at a high price to getting good, valuable stuff and selling it at a discount. Before the tornado, before this change, Richard was very successful. He had 9 stores. The chain now has over 500 stores. One of the best-known retailers in the world. Many of you probably shopped there within the last couple of days because he changed the name of the company too. He changed it to Best Buy. Best Buy got started when its founder was nearly wiped out by a tornado. That's what winners do.
For years, Spencer Johnson, MD, endorsed Dr. Gary Bradt as the leading speaker and interpreter on his landmark business bestseller, Who Moved My Cheese? Dr. Bradt has presented to hundreds of organizations around the world, using real-world case studies and powerful concrete ideas with immediate take-home value. Dr. Gary Bradt, change, love it or lead it.
You ever know people, when you see them walking down the hall at work, they always look kind of like this. Hey, Phil, how you doing? Kind of tired today. Don't really know why I'm so tired. Been tired for a long time, no? Phil's kind of got a blank look in his eyes. A lot of us kind of go through life like this, feeling weighted down, feeling burdened. And then you ask him, why are you so burdened? He said, hey, look at my past, man. You know, my dad was an alcoholic. If only Dad hadn't been an alcoholic, I could have been something, you know. If only I'd studied something else in school, I could have been successful. If only my spouse hadn't left me. Of course, I know some people are out there going, if only mine hadn't come back. But we go around carrying these burdens, weighted down by them, and we don't realize the craziness is we're doing it to ourselves. We're weighting ourselves down with regrets and resentments from the past, and we don't realize I can set that weight down. And when I do, I feel free. And when I do, I am now freed up to latch on. I can latch on to anything positive coming my way. Maybe some of you, you're not going to let go. You're holding on. You're holding on. I've been hurt in relationships before, and I'm never going to get hurt again. And then somebody comes along and says, go ahead, give me a hug. And you're not going to let them get close. But if you want to get close to someone again, you got to let go. And then you can latch on. Best way I know how to do it is through forgiveness. Because many times the burdens we're carrying around are these resentments and regrets that we're blaming someone or somebody, or sometimes ourselves. If a cat's being chased by a dog, that's a bad situation for the cat, right? Its hair's on end and it's running for its life. The cat shoots itself up that tree where the dog can't get it, and the cat looks down. The dog might be down at the bottom of that tree going nuts. But the cat determines the dog can't get it. What does the cat do at that point in time? It don't need to hiss and growl. It relaxes. The dog can't get me. I'm taking a bath. Little bath, little nap. This is pretty good. If we're up in that tree, if it's us, we're hissing and growling. My God, did you see that? He almost got me. I can't believe it. He was chasing me. I could have died. I could have died right then. And now I'm up in this tree. How am I going to get out of here? He's still down there. I'll never escape. Oh, my God. And the cat's over there sleeping and relaxing. It understands. The cat understands. Life is simple. What is. A moment ago, it was really bad. This moment's not so bad. Why freak out? This moment, I'm okay.
Dr. Bradt is president and CEO of Bradt Leadership, a company dedicated to leadership development. Using his background in clinical psychology, he spent the past 2 decades consulting with the nation's senior businesses, advising them on how to get better results through better leadership. Now, he can bring this wealth of knowledge and powerful tools to work for your organization.
Jim Valvano was a great basketball coach, died of cancer. He was a great motivational speaker. He had a phrase that said, never, ever give up. That's my 5th and final key, because some of you are dealing with really tough stuff, rough stuff. And these other 4 keys haven't done it for you. I hope this one will. I've added to Jimmy's phrase where I believe that sometimes tomorrow's rewards aren't going to be apparent today, or today's rewards aren't going to be apparent until tomorrow. You won't know. Even though this tough situation, there are rewards in it, but you're not going to see them right away. You've got to have faith. I'm reminded of a college quarterback. Several years ago, there was a college quarterback. I think it was at the University of Texas, some school down in Texas. He was the starting